What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Movie Mob Podcast, where we review TV shows. Joining me, I'm your host, Nick, and joining me today in studio, as always, is Matt Sampson.
What's going on, man?
Nice to see you. And live from Westeros, a.k.a. Burbank, California, RJ Carreri. RJ, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So we're reviewing the House of the Dragon series. Last week we did episode 1. This week we're doing episode 7. Just kidding, episode 2.
That's something we do.
We left off last week with a little boy getting his head removed.
That's right.
And
That is true.
we commented on the lack of security and just a whole bunch of kind of plot points. I also kind of did a little bit of digging and found out that in the book series, it was a lot worse than they made it out
I heard that too.
in the.
Really?
Show. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
How so?
Like they find out which one the boy is, and then they like wake up the children and say that their mother wanted us to do this to you, and they kill the kids and they kill the girl too, and it's like,
Oh my God.
really, really gruesome stuff. And instead they had this weird like pedophilic kind of moment of which one's the boy and check, you know what I mean? And I feel like as gruesome as it was, I feel like they kind of toned it down from what I've heard was supposed to go down. Does that make sense, man?
I feel like that'd be pretty morbid to see on screen.
I don't disagree, but
Yeah.
if you're gonna do it, you know what I mean? Like, why?
Yeah.
No,
You know?
I did hear some book readers were a little disappointed with how they did it in the show. I'm
Okay.
not a book reader.
Same.
So
I'm not either.
So I was not disappointed.
Sure.
But I can understand book readers who were.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of Dunkin' Donuts cups, man.
You like that?
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
a
I
lot.
think
I'm starting early. It's my Christmas tree. I was gonna make
I
another
love
cup.
it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
That's a lot of cups.
Yeah.
well, I was gonna say I
Keep
think
saying
that them
it.
killing one of the
Go ahead, RJ.
I said I think them killing one of the kids is enough to justify, the anger that we see from them in this episode anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, to your point about how we were kind of complaining about how no one was guarding the queen, they kind of do address that in this episode, which I liked.
Oh yeah, he's fucking
With
Allison.
the Kristen Cole thing. Yeah. That's
can
why
I-
he wasn't there.
He sucks. I hate him. I've been talking to people, Tim had some people. I think universally he's the most hated character in this entire show, Kristen Cole.
Yeah, which sucks because he was so liked in the beginning.
The first 4, he was
Yeah.
a very likable character.
Well, I saw the actor had to like limit his Instagram comments because people were just saying "I hate you." And
Yeah.
all this.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I don't
Is
doubt
that
it.
real?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That's insane.
which is stupid, but
Yeah,
I mean,
that's stupid.
RJ, you want to recap this episode for us?
sure, yeah, let's do it. So we start off right away the aftermath of the male heir Aegon's son getting beheaded by Blood and Cheese, the rat catcher, and the Gold Cloak, and then it's kind of they're all scrambling, cleaning up the mess, and Aegon's not happy. He destroys that beautiful thing that Viserys worked so hard to build in season 1.
So, not to interrupt you, but can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
If you're a grandfather, right? So I'm the kind of person where like my grandfather had a letter opener. It's a plastic letter opener, but it's monogrammed with his initials on it.
That's nice.
I still have it. I have my great grandfather's cigarette cases from the 1940s that are like something I would never allow anyone else to touch, let alone like if your grandfather carved out of stone an entire replica of your city, would you destroy it? Would that be your way of showing your anger, destroying something, a family like heirloom piece thing?
Man, these kids nowadays,
I'm serious. Is that something that you would do? I don't understand.
I wouldn't do it.
You know, like
I mean, are you surprised though?
no, he's a brat, and he's a pain in the
Yeah.
ass, and he has no morals or anything. But like,
And
go.
well, I was going to say he also kind of showed his true colors that he really doesn't respect his father or his legacy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Put some respect on the name of the former king. He was the best
He was
character
great.
from season 1. You know?
Yeah.
Ah, man, I miss
Dare
him
I
so
say
much.
the best king we've seen on screen?
In Game of Thrones?
Like
as well.
we haven't had good ones. I mean, Robert, he was not really a great king though.
Yeah, but he was just a glutton. He was just
Yeah.
You're probably right. He probably was the best king. Now that I'm thinking about
Viserys was definitely the best.
in terms of morals.
it. Great guy. He just wanted to keep the peace, you know?
Yeah, he was somebody who like actually cared. He cared about the job and the position and what
his
it
family.
meant to the people around him. I think he cared about his subjects,
Just a good guy.
the
You know?
peasantry.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
And
But,
then after
yeah, I guess-
Viserys was probably the last good king that,
Yeah,
the Seven Kingdoms ever saw.
it's true.
You're not wrong.
Do we really
Well,
think Aegon is a protector of the realm? I don't know.
No, can't even protect his kid.
Right.
Terrible.
Right. All right, RJ,
But
continue.
I mean, to continue the episode. So then we kind of see the propaganda aspect of it, to where they, even though it's not confirmed, they don't know that Rhaenyra ordered this. They push it that way, obviously, and then they do that really terrible scene where they force Alicent and
Helena.
Aegon's sister, the mother, to go through the funeral procession. The kids' heads out in the open, the anxiety. It's pretty rough scene, but
Yeah.
they kind of use that to really show, oh, this is what Rhaenyra is capable of. They call her Rhaenyra the Cruel. I think that was the name of the episode.
yeah.
And so it's Otto behind the scenes being like, hey, sorry the kid died, but let's use this to our advantage, which is pretty screwed up.
It's incredibly political. It's totally the way that a politician thinks. It's like, no matter what the situation is, how is this going to look? How do we spin this in our favor? And totally devoid of any emotional anything. Like no time to grieve, no time to be a family or anything like that. It's just, how do we spin this to be Rhaenyra bad, we're good? You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Do you think Otto really cared?
Otto, I genuinely believe Otto cares about Otto and his position and how to maintain power of any kind. That's all Otto has ever cared about, ever.
Do you think he cared? So he didn't care about the grandson dying.
I think he realizes the tragedy aspect of it. Like, he knows that it's a bad thing that happened. I don't think he has any emotional... Like if you asked Otto Hightower, do you think you should kill a child? Otto would say no. But since it happened and he's not family, it's more like...
I don't think he's hurt, but he's not hurt.
He's
by
not
it.
hurt by this.
No.
He saw a shitty situation and is trying to make the most out of it. The problem is that he uses his powers for evil as opposed to good. That's the issue with Otto Hightower.
Yeah, he's been a dick
Yeah.
since day one, pimping out his daughter,
100%.
manipulating everyone.
It's like Churchill in World War II. Was he happy Japan bombed America? No. Was he happy they're in the war now? Yeah.
Right.
You got to take it, But he was great. I mean, we can talk about him a little later, but
Who,
he
Churchill?
was awesome. He's the standout.
We love Churchill.
Otto Hightower, I feel like, was the standout this episode.
Yeah, I think so too. I still don't like him at all.
Yeah, he's a dick.
And
But I kind of he was kind of on the right side this episode.
Okay.
Especially in the scene in particular when he's talking to, when he's arguing with Aegon later.
Yeah, I mean he was definitely in the right there.
Mm.
You don't just hang all the
and he had that
rackets.
great moment where Aegon was like, my father named me king, and then Otto just laughs, and he's like, literally Otto was the one who made him king.
Yeah. No, I think just touching on that, I think Otto, that may be a mistake because Otto's gonna stay scheming. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course.
We haven't heard the last of Otto just because he's not handed a king anymore. You know?
Right.
So I'm interested to see kind of what Otto does because is he gonna be resentful now towards the crown? What's he gonna? You know what I mean?
This is the second time he's had to take that thing off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? He throws it on the ground this
Yeah.
time. It was good. I was going to ask you about that, Matt. How do you feel about that scene with Otto and Aegon making Christian Cole? Cole. Whatever the hell his name is.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you got it.
I kind of saw it coming because in
You saw Kristen being the...
No, not him, but I saw him getting rid of Otto because Otto had been bitching at him for 2 episodes straight.
Well, and Laris was
Yeah,
like...
that scene
Yeah.
was pretty much put the idea in his
Just
brain.
make sure you're right in front of that mic, Bubba.
And
Do you see how it's over on this side of your mouth?
Yeah.
Put it in front of your mouth. No. Push it that way.
how's that?
No, you pulled the opposite
Okay,
way.
right
Hey,
there.
there you go.
All right,
See
all right,
there?
all right,
Okay,
all right.
thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
No. No, I'm just excited to see kind of what Otto does on his own because this whole time he's just been kind of manipulating for his position, kind of next to the king. So I feel like on his own, I don't know if he like goes a different route or he joins a different cause. I'm kind of interested to see what he does.
Well, he made mention of the third son, the third son of
Highgarden?
Viserys, who's in Old Town.
Old Town, yeah.
So that character is in the books, and I assume they wrote him out, but I guess they're bringing him in. So it's the youngest brother of Aegon and Aemond.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
So I think, so I think Otto is gonna try to pull him into the mix, maybe, as a replacement for Aegon, maybe. Maybe we get a third side coming into this.
All the Meisters are in Old Town, right?
Yeah,
I like the Meisters. I hope they go and they're in like a big library. All the Meisters are reading. That'd be a cool scene.
Mr. Heat Miser.
Wouldn't that be nice? Heat Miser and Snow Miser.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about that, Nick? If we have a third party enter,
it's Japan, right? I mean, it's Germany and
right,
and the U.S. and then there's Japan and it's gonna be it's definitely gonna shape up to be one of the biggest battles or series of battles that we've ever seen in this world.
Yep.
I think it's going to be very interesting. Go ahead, continue, because there's more to this episode.
Yeah, so I guess we can flip over to Dragonstone.
Yep.
And, obviously Rhaenyra hears about what they're saying she did. She's like, no, obviously. But then Daemon's sitting there like a little bastard on the other side of the table, and he's like, Maybe. Which I think we were kind of right about last episode, where it kind of alludes to what did he say to them after they said, what if we can't find Aemon? And then they cut away. He probably said,
do what you gotta do.
You can. Yeah. He doesn't admit that to her. They have a huge argument, which I think was a great scene too. And he kind of storms off, and I think he's going to Harrenhal. I'm not exactly sure where he's going. But, I mean, what'd you think of that? I mean, Rhaenyra kind of finally blew up at him and called him out on his shit.
Well, right. She blows up on him, and I'm forgetting how it happened, but how did she find out that it was that lady who was helping with all these different finding of the guy?
She was, being transported in a boat, and I think they found her, so she was a prisoner at the castle.
I see. Okay, but she's the one who gave the information to Daemon about who to talk to and all this other stuff. And she was she played a big role because they were supposed to get married, her and Daemon, right?
Right, she was, yeah.
In the last season, but they didn't. And he ran away, remember? He ran away and hid out for a while and then came back.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of her character. She kind of reminds me a bit of Shay.
Yeah.
Tyrion's woman.
They both got the accents.
Where kind of, she's she struggled. She was like a prostitute and she worked her way
I
up.
liked her story. That little monologue she gave to Rhaenyra was great. I liked that
maybe
whole
it's just
thing.
her accent.
Yeah, the accent kind of throws
weird.
me off. I don't understand the whole accent thing.
Shay had the same
She's
kind of
doing
accent.
three different things going on there.
Right. But I do like her story of
Yeah, that's fair.
Built everything on her own and all this other stuff, and then Rhaenyra allows her to leave. Which this is really getting into the part that I was.
Moment.
Yeah, this is the moment that I was talking about on the phone, RJ, or when I texted you, and I was like, "Hey, there's a moment. Get ready." She's
we can
walking
flip back to Kristen now.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go.
Well, so then Aegon hasn't granted. This is before the Otto scene, but Kristen obviously sucks. We addressed that. He kind of projects his guilt on everyone else. He goes up to Eric, I think, not Eric. I don't know which one.
I hated that.
But he goes
scene.
up and he's like, "Hey, where were you that night?" And he's like, "Oh, I was protecting, whatever." And then he calls him out, blames it on him, and is like, "Hey, go to Dragonstone and kill Rhaenyra by yourself, or I'm going to tell the king that you were off the job and you contributed to the murder," which is screwed up.
He pretty much sent him to his death.
But
yeah,
but he knows that his twin brother is there protecting Rhaenyra. So he's like, "Why don't you go and pretend?"
Yeah,
to
but
be
he
him?
wasn't though. He wasn't. It was the other guy, the bald guy or whatever that was out front. Remember when he goes up to the door initially and he allows him to take leave of his post and he pretends to be his brother and says, "Yeah, I'll take over from here."
Yeah.
But his brother wasn't there initially, is what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
So okay, so
His brother was inside.
No,
Because at
no.
at the front of the gate, he
Rhaenyra was
says-
talking to the maid, or the bedroom assistant, whatever they're called. Rhaenyra was talking to her, and there was the bald guy out front of the door.
Yeah.
And then the brother sneaks in past the woman that Rhaenyra just let go. Remember, he comes in on the boat and he's dressed up.
No, yeah,
like the thing.
I was saying that when he shows up to the castle outside,
Mm-hmm.
the guards there are like, "Oh, aren't you inside?"
Right.
And he was- That's what I was
right.
talking about.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a great scene too when she's the chick that was supposed to marry Damon, the French
she
lady.
noticed.
She's
Viseria, yeah.
freed. She's freed. She's still nervous, and it's a
Yeah.
great scene because you're not expecting the twin to show up at all
Yeah.
or to have any sort of issue like that. So you have this awesome moment where she's like, if I say anything, they could kill me, take me back, imprison me, whatever it is. Do I just keep walking and shut up, or do I say something about that guy that just walked past? It's one of those like, see something, say something. Do I cause a stir or not? Do I do the right thing or not? You know what I mean? And she walks right past, and then she does say something, but I guess they didn't do anything about it. No?
Well, I think they wanted to keep the tension. Like, does she go back or not? And then I think you assume that she did go back, and that's how the brother knew that he was in there.
Right.
And that's how he kind of stormed in, literally right as his brother pulls the sword on Rhaenyra, and they fight it out.
Isn't that
Stuff.
a great scene? It's a great scene though.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
she's like sitting there on the bed, like going, "What the hell do I do? Like, what do I do?"
It
And
pissed me off so much, though.
I literally
so
said to
pissed
RJ
off.
on the phone because he hadn't watched it yet. I watched it on Sunday night. RJ, you watched it yesterday?
Yeah, last night. Yeah.
Okay. So I watched it Sunday night. Talked to RJ Monday about the other film that we're doing. So we whatever on the phone. I said, "Have you watched it yet?" He goes, "No, not yet." I'm like, "Dude, there is a scene in there. I'm not kidding. I teared up.
No,
I
I
was
was
like,
pissed.
"Are you kidding me right now?"
I was pissed because those honestly,
Oh.
those are two of like the few like just good guys, loyal guys in all of Westeros right now. The George Kittle twins. They both just want to do good and honor like and everything. And they love each other. That was fucked up. And also,
They're the polar opposite of Cole.
yeah, and I love those characters. Honestly, I wish we got more out of them. I feel like we didn't get enough of them. I don't know in the books like if they're there or not, if they made them up, but I definitely would have liked to see more from them.
I also really like the fact that they had the sorry RJ, real quick. The
No, you're good.
Again, I mentioned it last week when we were reviewing the first episode, that the whole scene at the end of the first season where he says, "Listen, we're supposed to protect the royal family. So when the royal family's divided, who do we protect?"
Yeah.
And the fact that they were so
They're weighed down by it. You know what I mean? They didn't know like what to do.
but it shows like that they
They
had
care.
commitment,
Yeah, they
the
care.
commitment to their job
Yeah,
and to what
they're
they
prideful.
were doing. And I mean, it was just,
That was a hard one.
you can't help but like, that is what happens when you fight with family. Everybody, it all goes to shit.
Everyone loses.
There's no winners whatsoever. It was so sad to watch because you're looking at them going, "You guys are brothers, for God's sake! Like, can you just stop?
Talk it out. Yeah.
Just chill a
Yeah.
minute." Because what you could have done, right, in my head, is you both recuse yourselves, and maybe you'd still end up dead because the
Right.
families would kill you. But like, you just say, you know what, like I'm taking a step back. Do with me what you will. Put me in prison, kill me, whatever it is. But like, I'm not doing this, and I'm not fighting against. Like, you're out of your mind. That's what I feel like I would do. And maybe that's the wrong thing to do. Maybe you continue fighting anyway. I'm not a soldier, never have been. Never been a private security person. But like, holy crap, that sucks.
No, that scene messed me up, dude. I was so mad after that.
I know. I really didn't expect to get like emotional about it when the guy fell. Spoilers. When the guy
Yeah.
fell on his own sword,
Yeah.
I lost.
Yeah, I
it.
was like, what the fuck?
God Almighty.
I was like,
Can you imagine?
at least all right, one of them makes it out. You know what
Do
I
you
mean?
have a brother, Matt?
No, I'm so.
You don't have a brother, right, RJ? You have sisters.
Half brother. Yeah.
Half brother. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I have a brother. Listen. I'm telling you right now. My brother and I, especially when I was younger, he's 3 years younger than me. But when I was in my teens, whatever, we used to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was.
But
I
they were
would
close.
never actually hurt my brother. I mean, we were fighting, and there were some things that
Yeah.
hurt that either were said or physical. To kill your own brother is just insane to me, man.
That was
Insane.
Well, that's why part of me was kind of like, I understand the whole honor stuff. He believes he's loyal to the crown, but like after Kristen Cole tries to blackmail you into doing this, like why didn't you just side with Rhaenyra? Go over there.
Yeah.
You he gave you a free pass to go join Rhaenyra.
No, I was actually waiting for him to be like, "This is stupid. Like, I'm gonna join Rhaenyra,
Right.
join my brother, and just
what
like,
I'm saying.
and then Rhaenyra would have both the George Kittle twins. Like, I was waiting for that to happen.
And that would have been a dope
Yeah.
thing. Like
Oh,
then
it's a
you'd
big get.
have a little bit of like an upper hand. And that's the thing with this, right? This whole like bullshit war or whatever it is that's going on. Who has the upper hand? No one. Everyone's losing right now, consistently across the board.
And
Otto Hightower's losing. And what's his daughter's name there?
Allison, she seems so
She's-
stressed out.
Do you think?
No one is more stressed out. There's just a scene when she's in the. There's like a scene, an episode where she's just alone and just like fuck.
Yeah, she's
Like-
whimpering and crying,
The
and
bathtub.
The
she's a
fact that she
fantastic
can't console
actress.
Aegon.
Oh, she's
Oh
great.
yeah, I mean it's just insane. It keeps going and going and going, and there's no,
Yeah, no one's
winner.
happy.
No one at any point in time. You're never going like that's one for them.
Yeah.
Like everyone
Yeah.
loses
Everyone's just
constantly.
taking L's.
Oh, it's insane. I don't know. The episode as a whole to me seemed rather dull.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
I think that's only because of how intense the very first episode was.
Yes.
And we're gonna,
Yeah.
we're probably gonna see a lot of these like ebbs and flows throughout the, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like leading up.
I mean, I don't want to
Um,
like critique it too, but like to me, like the big two scenes were the Otto, getting stripped of being handed a king,
100%.
and then the scene with the twins at the end.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
what I would consider like a bridge episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you had this big moment with the kid. Now you need to fix a little bit of these plot issues, and then you go back in. But it was still, even for a quote unquote dull episode, it was still pretty fucking intense. You ask
No,
me.
yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, I thought it was like purposefully dull. Like I thought it should have been, considering what just happened.
Oh, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying as a whole, it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
like edge of my seat the whole
Yeah.
time. You know?
Yeah.
I
no,
will
it-
say what I thought was really odd, and I'm sure it's going to come back in the next episodes. But the random cuts to like the blacksmith guy and his family
yeah,
when they're making
yeah,
soup,
that was a random scene.
and then the cuts to the Hull, the two new characters, the Hull family,
Oh,
about
yeah,
like
yeah.
joining Corliss.
with the snake.
It just felt odd because it had no relevance to that particular episode's story.
Well, they definitely got to be
and it-
setting something up there.
I was just going to say
Yeah.
it's foreshadowing, but it's cheap foreshadowing.
You
Like
know.
it had nothing to do with it. So they
Yeah,
just,
but didn't that seem like what the hell's going on right now? Why
Yeah.
did we cut here?
yeah, it did.
Or it's probably like,
was
hey,
a little-
like don't forget about these characters. Like we're bringing them back later
Right,
for something.
yeah.
Like, just hold on. They're coming.
Yeah.
And Matt, to your point about
Thank you.
kind of you wish you had more time with the brothers.
I do.
I think if I had to have one like major critique of this series in general, it's
Yes.
I think they do tend to gloss over those smaller relationships,
Okay.
like with them, and I think because they're moving so fast, they're like especially Rhaenyra and Harwin Strong.
Yeah, you
You
know what?
never see them
That's a very good
together.
point.
You never see them in love. You never see them have those kids.
I
And it's
agree
like-
with that. Even in Game of Thrones, like some of the side characters, like Harwin Strong or like you could like, I don't know, like Osha, for example, with Bran
Yeah.
in Game of Thrones. Remember Osha?
Yeah.
But like she got
Yeah.
a lot of like
The
personal.
Wilding.
She was like a side character, but she got like a lot of personal moments, like a lot of screen time before she ended up dying. You know what I mean? And like Braun and like there were a lot of characters like that. Master Lewin. I agree with that, RJ.
And I give a pass to the first season because it really was kind of a prologue. It was setting everything up.
I give him a pass.
But now I feel like there's no excuse.
Yeah, I think some of the I agree. I think some of the characters would benefit from maybe a few more scenes.
Yeah.
Either that or kill them off. Like, why are we? You know what I mean? Whatever. It's too many. You can't focus and you can't
And now
follow
you're bringing
along
in
with all
another
of them.
brother.
Right. No, it's a lot. It's a lot. They're trying to do a lot here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not. Listen, we're really harshly critiquing right now.
I hope. Yeah.
It's a
it's
great show.
phenomenal.
This is a
Yeah,
great
it
show.
is.
But it's like,
Yeah.
and then I keep hearing stuff about the books. Obviously, within a book, you can expound upon all these
Yeah.
different,
Yeah.
characters and get way more in depth, and it's very difficult to translate that onto the screen. But at the same time, it's like, if it's too difficult for you, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, why are you making
Yeah.
it into a series?
But I mean, George has said that, the difference between this book and the Game of Thrones books is like, this was like a history book that he wrote from the perspective of a historian writing this out. So like his argument is like, you don't know, this could have happened, it might not have.
Yeah.
Right. The
Versus Game
victor
of
to the
Thrones,
victor
you had
goes the
full
spoils.
scenes. Yeah, right.
Right.
So I definitely think they almost have too much room, maybe in some areas, to make up their own stuff. But
That's
yeah,
true
they gotta
too.
Pick and choose.
Yeah. Where do we go from here? I mean, it's just like a slow simmer into a boil, and we're getting up to that rolling boil point. But
I got another thought.
Yeah.
Go.
I've been thinking about this a lot actually this week.
Okay.
And there's
Okay.
a lot of
Don't lose sleep.
All right,
but,
no.
you know.
Well, because in Game of Thrones, I don't know if you guys felt this. There were a lot of characters like I actively rooted for.
Sure.
Like from day one, actively rooting for Ned, Arya, even Robb early on, Tyrion. I feel like in this show, I don't really know if there's a character like I'm actively rooting for. There's a lot of characters I hate. I hate Kristen Cole.
Yep.
I hate Otto.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't really like the King. I really hate Aemon. I want to talk about his scene at the whorehouse.
Did he not give Voldemort
yeah.
vibes in this
Well,
episode?
can I say, for a prince, you think he'd have a
with
better
him
looking
curled up.
When he's curled up on the thing, all I could see was Voldemort under that little
Oh,
bench in heaven.
Scaly.
I saw a meme of that.
In
Yeah.
the
It was
afterlife.
you think for a prince he'd have a better looking prostitute, you know?
Well, okay, let's.
No,
we're
I'm just saying
verging.
for a prince, you know
we're
what I mean?
verging
I mean,
on
come on.
getting banned from YouTube.
I know. I'm just
I
saying.
mean, he's in Westeros.
Yeah, but he's a
King's
prince.
Land,
You'd
they're
think
not
he'd,
great.
yeah,
upgrade.
but he's got one eye. He's got his problems. too.
I hate him. He's another. Well, I don't like him either. But I feel like there's not really any characters I like actively root for. There's just characters I hate and characters like I don't hate as much. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's a good point.
Thank you.
I think it's because the characters that you root for are like you. There's obviously, who's your favorite character?
Like if I had to pick,
Had to pick a favorite character.
it'd probably be Damon and Rhaenyra. But even
a
Same.
favorite character, one singular.
I would actually, if you asked me halfway through season 1, I'd say Rhaenyra, but I'm gonna say Damon now, just because I think he's the most interesting character, and he's kind of cool.
Really?
Yeah,
See, I'm not a fan
Yeah,
of
Damon's my favorite.
Just
him.
'cause
I
he's
like Matt
interesting.
Smith, but I'm not a fan of Damon.
I think he helps. I think Matt Smith is also part of the reason I like Damon because he's such a good actor.
Okay,
He's kind of shady. I don't know. I like that he's kind of a
mean,
great character.
I would say Rhaenyra's my favorite
Yeah,
so
she's,
far.
she's probably my 2.
And
But like, I don't have the same love for them. Like, I loved Ned. I loved Rob. Loved Arya.
But okay, so what I was going to say to your point, I feel like the reason that we can't find someone to root for is because every time we find someone to root for, they fight against someone else that we are trying to root for
Yeah.
because it's family infighting. So we feel the same stresses that the characters are not the same, but
yeah.
same type of stresses that the characters are feeling because we don't know who to root for.
Yeah. No,
And I think that's the
But I
whole
also
point.
feel like
yeah.
I think the X factor in that is the Starks.
Mm.
Like they're like the one like good family with morals and when they're not in the story, like
everyone else is
we're
great.
kind of left with. If you look at Game of Thrones, you take the Starks out of that, it's like the Lannisters, like
Gray. Yeah. Even
yeah.
Daenerys, like at points, like you
yeah,
know, I feel like the
or
further
her family in general, the brother.
the further Daenerys story goes, the grayer she gets. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's why the Starks were like the main focal point of Game of Thrones, is because they were so different. you
Yeah.
know?
No, I think one character I could find myself like really rooting for. He seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. Is the eldest son of Rhaenyra.
Who is
I don't know.
No, Jace.
Is that his name? He kind of has the Jon Snow thing going on.
Yeah.
makes me wary when you say that, man, because that means next episode he's going to get clocked.
I hope not, because he
Probably.
actually seems like a good kid. He's got a good head on his shoulders. Wants to do the right. You know
So
what
did
I mean?
the kid on the dragon that got eaten.
Well, these are. I
Right?
feel like these are the characters that die. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the problem.
But I like this guy. You know, he went to the Stark, the Wall. They were like, all right, we'll give you 2,000. Man.
Well, and they gotta have this is like the great grandfather of Ned,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
they gotta have someone somewhere that continues the Stark line.
No, I hope he does well. I hope he moves up the ranks.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I think I
Well, I
do
was gonna
find it funny that the Starks technically have is it Valyrian blood?
Valyrian Steel.
No,
he's not a
but,
Stark.
who? No, I'm talking about the Starks. though.
Jace.
Why is he not a Stark? What do you mean?
He's a strong.
Strong. I like the Strongs.
Yeah.
The
I like
Strongs
the
are
Strong.
cool. Yeah,
The
Strongs are cool.
I like the
Who
Strongs.
doesn't like a
They're all
strong?
dead.
Strong
Yeah.
characters.
You know,
Yeah.
Who wants a weak? No, I'm
Harwin.
just kidding.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
yeah,
They're
they're
not-
half Valerian by name.
Old Valeria.
Because remember the Valerian brother that
they speak
Rhaenyra
High
married
Valyrian,
was
though?
gay.
Yeah, do they speak High Valyrian? Remember? It's good, High Valyrian.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. Oh,
Fucking love
that's
drugs,
one
man.
thing that we didn't bring up last week with the opening of the episode. Not to backtrack too much here, but I wanted your guys' opinions on this.
The quilt?
The scene where Kristen Cole smashes that guy's head during the wedding. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
Oh yeah.
What were the repercussions of that scene?
They're just like, yeah, we'll just put that under the rug.
But they killed like a prince or something. Oh, no, the guy that he loved
Yeah.
that died.
No, it
They
was
got
just
his
his
head.
boy toy.
Right. But it was his buddy there.
His Guma. Yeah. His Guma.
Right, but he still like there was nothing there. And then what happened to the gay kid, the Valyrian guy?
Oh, I actually do remember what happened with Kristen Cole. I think he was going to commit suicide in the Godswood. Because
and then
Allison was like, hey, hold the phone.
You're gonna come work for me,
Come work for me and like
Okay.
eat me out whenever I'm depressed.
right?
You know?
And he does.
Oh, yeah, he does.
She's depressed often.
Yeah,
apparently.
she's chow mein, you know?
He's chowing.
Chowing,
Right.
so.
There's a lot of chowing.
Yeah.
But then you're talking about Laenor,
Oh, yeah.
Corlys's son.
Yeah, he just escaped. Like, they faked
Yeah,
his death and
remember
let him
they
escape,
faked
right?
his
That's what it
death.
was. That's what it was. They faked
Yeah.
his death, and they
So
let
I'm
him
wondering if
escape.
he's gonna come back into play. Probably not, but
Yeah, I don't know.
It'd be funny if he came in and saved the day.
That might be like one of the things in the books is like you said, it's like from a historian's perspective. So they might just say like he leaves, and it's kind of like up to interpretation. Like some
I
people say
honestly
he was
don't
died.
think that aspect is in the books. That they fake his death. I
okay.
think that's new.
Hold the phone. All right, HBO.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I know. I like that. No, he didn't
So I don't
deserve to
know.
die. I liked him. He was.
Well, he
know.
didn't die.
He was good.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He faked his death.
No, I like
Got
that.
away on a boat.
I like they didn't kill him. You know, it's good. Good time.
Yeah. That's very
I will
interesting.
say I can't predict much because you never know with these shows.
You never know.
but I feel like Aemond and Daemon are.
Oh,
They're
the
building that up.
Mons.
Yeah, I find it very interesting that Aemon and Daemon are so similar. They're so similar.
Daemon's cooler.
I don't disagree with you.
Aemon's
but
a loser.
Aemon's trying to be Daemon,
He's a wannabe.
and he doesn't have the Daemon
Yeah.
qualities. He
He's
doesn't even have both eyes.
Yeah, he's
It's
a wannabe.
right.
Like Damon's like 50 Cent, and like Aemon's like Ja Rule. Like he wishes, you know.
Yeah.
I actually like.
Yeah,
that.
there's
They're
only,
gonna
there's only
clash, no
150.
doubt.
Yeah, there's
no,
only
I can't
150.
wait for that. I think it's gonna be great. On Dragonback, definitely.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring 'em out,
So
bring 'em out.
So okay, so leaving off, going into episode 3, we have Rhaenyra, who just lost her personal bodyguard,
Ooh.
favorite one, and the other brother, and the king's heir is dead.
Who knows what Daemon is? You know.
Daemon's gone. Again, he loves to run away, and then you have Otto, who Alicent sent back to Highgarden, right?
Yeah, he's going to Highgarden.
Old Town.
Yeah, going to chill for a little bit, and then she says, "We'll bring you back." And what else? What else we got? Where are we going from here? What's the next
potentially
move?
We could have 4 sides now if Daemon creates his own.
True. Oh, it seems like Kristen Cole is hand of the king now, which is a very stupid move, I think, by the king. But it seems like those two. I mean, the two of them are idiots, so they're just going to be like, all right, we get dragons, let's use them.
Sure.
Because I feel like everyone has been kind of hesitant to break out the dragons. Because once you break out the dragons, then it's like all-out war.
It's nuclear war.
And then
like the
also,
nuke.
like, you're going to take losses. You know what I mean? Like, your dragons could die, and then you're fucked. So, but, Kristen Cole and the king, now they're being like, all right, let's attack. So I'm pretty sure things are going to get started sooner rather than later now.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree.
There
with
were a
you.
bunch of shot of dragons in the 4. I actually watched it this week, like next week.
Oh, you watched the next week's thing?
Yeah, there
Don't
were-
watch the next week's
I
thing.
was curious guy. But no, but it didn't seem like they were like in battle. But they were flying around though. So
Okay.
they were flying. It didn't seem like they were attacking, but they were there. They were flying.
Yeah,
So a lot of.
I'd like to
I
see
mean,
more
listen,
dragons
there's
used.
a lot of kids. I kind of forgot about Daemon and Rhaenyra's kids too, the little babies.
They
Like,
got, oh yeah.
a lot of kids are going to be dying, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
There's too many. Yeah.
oh RJ.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I guess. I mean,
No,
Archer's
I'm just
right,
saying.
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Listen, man.
No, it's definitely a sad thing. It's not something that I am, in favor of.
No, I hope not. I
listen,
hope. I mean, I
realize-
hope not.
No, but like when you watch a battle and you know who to root for and everything, like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
get
yeah,
him,
yeah.
But
Yeah.
like there's no get him in this. this. I'm just like watching every week, going, "What the hell is gonna?"
No, I just-
you know what it is? I feel like Rhaenyra in the bed with the two brothers fighting in front of me. That face, that's my face
Yeah.
that I have on now when I watch the episodes.
It's like, what's going on
What
here?
do I do?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
very that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know where to go from here. But I mean, obviously, I'm still enjoying the show. I think it's great.
Oh, phenomenal.
So
Appointment TV.
it is appointment television. I'm very happy that we continue to review it. You know, but you got anything else, RJ?
No, that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Good review.
Yeah, I like
Good
that.
episode.
It was a great episode, and I think it was a good. We've complained about this stuff in the past, the bridge episodes where there's a lull and whatever. But I do feel like it was needed because the first episode was so intense. You need a little bit of this like boring political shit to kind of build up the rest of the series. You know what I mean?
Need a cleanse.
You do need a little bit of a
A
cleanse,
little bit of cleanse.
little detox after the
it's
child death.
Yeah, it's like
you
you eat
know?
a big sandwich. You got to mix some water in. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
gotta clear the-
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Wash
welcome.
it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a sip of something.
Yeah,
just
just
a
You know.
palate cleanser.
That's
A
all you
little
need.
bit of ginger after a piece of
Ooh.
sushi.
Hey
You
now.
know?
No,
It's
that's
like
good.
It's a
Come
napkin
on.
for the tongue.
It's kind of like you brush your teeth almost. You
It
have
is.
the ginger.
It
It's like,
is.
ooh, okay.
Yep.
What just happened there?
It's good for you.
Oh, McMachine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good for you.
But yeah, I mean, you guys got any last thoughts?
Nah, man.
I'm excited.
Any last words?
Nah.
Yeah.
Just I'm excited for Sunday nights.
Yeah, no. Sunday's gonna be great, and then next Friday we'll episode 3. But stick around, Movie Mob every Friday 6 p.m.
That's right.
Thank you, RJ, for flying in from Westeros to join us
Thank you.
live from the
Thank
Iron
you.
Throne.
Yeah.
And Matt, thanks for coming in. Appreciate
I
you.
like coming in.
And like and subscribe, and we'll see you next
I
week.
got a vacation at Castle Rock next week. So
Oh
hopefully
yeah,
from that.
I was thinking of going to
Yeah.
High Garden myself, but you never know.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys. We'll
I
see
might
you
be
next
going
week.
to Dorne this summer. We'll see.
No, that's
All right, settle down with the fucking
right.
fake places now. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you next week.
How
RJ,
you doing?
how you doing?
God bless. God bless.
There you go.